Andrew, so this is one you wanted to go into especially. So, advice to young men in their early 20s about life and how to approach things. How do you approach things?
It's deep.
How did you approach your early 20s, Andrew?
Not very well. Not very well. No, I think it's hard in some cases for lads nowadays to really figure out what to do. I think there's just so much stuff out there now. I think there's a lot of confusion of really trying to find out what you should do in life, how you should do it. But I've got a really cold opinion about it. And I don't think it'll suit. But it's just the reality of it. It is just the reality, okay? Like, men are only as good as we are useful, okay? And that is the cold hard facts. If you are not useful as a man, it's no good. Okay? We can talk about feelings, we can talk about all that kind of stuff, but we have to become, as men, in my opinion, and as a young man listening, we have to become a very useful member of society. Do you want me to elaborate?
I want you to go further. Yeah.
So, we're only as good as we are useful. Okay? You can get all the feelings twisted, you can get all that kind of stuff. But if you look at the reality of it as a man, okay, if you are financially stable, you are in a good position as a man. If you are emotionally stable, okay, we can feel emotions. It's fine to feel the emotions, but if you react on your emotions and you are an emotional person, you are at a risk. Mm-hmm. So we have to be emotionally stable, okay? We have to become a very strong influence of society, which means we have to be stable, we have to be reliable, we have to be somebody that you can go to if you need some help. We have to be almost like the protector, the backbone of it. And unfortunately, I feel like there's too many feelings involved as being a man. I don't know. It's tough to give context, but we have to become a very, very strong influence of society. You have to have your shit together. You have to be emotionally strong. You have to be financially stable. You have to be physically fit. You have to be able to say what you mean. You have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You've got to be reliable. You've got to be able to do the things you say you're going to do without any other person involved in your life. You have to be so self-sufficient. So let's say you can't have a team around you and you can't ask for help. That's not what I'm saying. We can ask for help. We can get advice and all that stuff. But we have to become very, very self-sufficient first before anything else. That's my opinion.
Do you know what it might be? The culture change over since we were kids, for example, and what it is now in young school. Like you see in schools where everyone's a winner now. Everyone who does sports is a winner in some capacity. And it's like, well, no, because you came 10th in the race. You're not a winner. Is it that kind of vibe that instills it from a young age where, no, I can actually get away with it even though I'm not near the winner in this kind of sport? What is it? What is the big thing? What is the big culture change that shift where we've seen changes in young men especially?
I just think there's so much. There is so much of a culture change.
So much distraction.
There's a lot of distraction. But when you really break it down, when you look at the winners, when you really break it down, when you look at the people that are successful in whichever way you want to look at it, there has to be a level of self-sufficiency. All right, let's do it on the flip side. Let's flip it. Are we a good man? Are you going to be a good member of society if you cannot handle your finances correctly and you are a burden? No. What if you continuously react on your emotions? You feel angry, you lash out. You're upset all the time, you're crying all the time. You're sensitive over small comments. Are you a good member of society? No. It's almost like we have to become, this is very...
the thing is, you can't say that anymore, you're not allowed.
I know you're not allowed to say it, but we're saying it. It's almost like a very animalistic way of looking at things. You have to become a good mate. You have to become a good, reliable source within life. Because when you flip it on the other side, I can't handle my money. I'm reacting all the time emotionally. I've got bad habits that I can't get out of because I cannot control my habits and can't control my feelings and thoughts. Some people might have an addiction to something and you can't control that. how is that going to play for you in the long term?
Poorly.
Very poorly.
Very poorly.
Very, very poorly. And and I feel like if we're young 20-year-old men, early 20s, if you can figure yourself out, if you can get things set up. Now, when we was 20, of course, we didn't have all of these things set up. And there was probably people older than us, and we was sat behind the camera going, yeah, whatever, I'm 20, I can figure it out. Well, yeah, you will figure it out, and that's the whole point. We don't get to figure this out on day one. But we have to be strong. We've got to be a positive member of society. We've got to have our shit together, because if we don't, it will be so much harder. Life will be so much harder. You will just not gain momentum. There's that quote, know thyself. You've heard this. It's like you need to know yourself. You need to have a backbone. You need to be in control of these things. And you know what? If something's happened to you, or if you've not got a great start point, well, figure it out. That's the point of being a man. You've got to figure these things out, create stability, create some strength. And in that way, if your goal long term is to have a family, find a partner, have a family, you are the anchor, because you've got things in check. Your money's good. Your health is good. You are in control of your emotions. You can have good conversations. You can figure things out. You don't always need to be in conflict. You can just have a good ecosystem of business, a good ecosystem of a family home. You're taking care of your health. There's not consistent to-ing and fro-ing with these kind of things.
I think the emotion one's a big one for me. I reckon emotionally I'm a bit more, not switched off, not the word, but I've been through a lot of grief, for example, a lot of family members dying earlier on in life. And it gets to the point where you're like, you know what? It's fucking is what it is. And it becomes, I don't think, now, we're not saying here the advice is to get some family members to die, so you can experience something. Yeah. What I'm saying is what that normally does for certain people, and it definitely did it for me, is like, well, it doesn't fucking matter, just get on with it anyway. And very much an attitude of, it's really not that fucking bad. You know what I mean? Like, I think there was about 5 of us left in the family. Both grandparents died early. One of my grandparents killed himself as well. Like, there's a lot of things went on in a young, formative part of my life between the ages of 10 to 14. I had about 4 instances of quite big family deaths, to the point where me and my cousin were just like, right, fuck it, let's just get on with life. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. And I think that's a big part of being very emotionally in check of what's going on and what really matters. And like, you see a lot of the time, like, young lads now, I don't want to say the word soft, but it's like the little things will set them off. And it's like, there's really not that fucking big. Like, you've got to be a little bit more solid with that. Like, you can't just let something like... And I'm very emotionally in check in the sense of, I'm not a guy who doesn't fucking cry. I'm not saying that you can't cry and be upset about these things. It's just that you really understand, like life is so very short. Like, why are you fucking wasting time mollycoddling yourself around certain situations? You've got to be really hands-on and to the point and get on with things. Otherwise, you'll get fucking left behind.
If there's problems,
no one's asked.
No, if there's a few holes along the early years of growing up, you've got to fill them holes first. You've got to figure it out. And as a man, we have to figure these things out so that we can get to a position where we can be the most reliable person in the family. This is something that always sticks in my head, and I don't know if it was Jordan Peterson that said it or somebody like that. It's like, be the most reliable person at your dad's funeral. When everything...
You're now stepping up to the plate, basically.
When everything goes to shit, when everything is crumbling around you, everyone's hitting that emergency button, everyone's panicking, hitting it out, they want to run. Okay, here I am, you can count on me. This is where I stand. And everybody turns to me and everybody turns to you and they go, right, Dan, what do we do next? What should I do next? For me, that is the biggest anchor and the biggest drive that I could ever have within my life, is to be that everyone's going to turn and say, I've just panicked, I'm running, I want to run, I'm going to press the emergency exit. Where's Andy? He'll tell me what to do. He can help me out. And for me, as a man, you have to put yourself in that position and go through these things. Just because I want to be in this kind of position doesn't mean I've not had problems and things to overcome. But this is the point. As a man, we have to overcome these problems, fill these gaps and fill these holes if there is something that's gone on. Get yourself in a position to be strong. Winners, we have to be winners. We have to be moving forwards. We have to be the most reliable person. And to do that, there is categories. There's categories. There is a financial category. There is a health category that we have to tick. There is a relationship and understanding how to communicate category. There is a whole bunch of stuff, and it's the same for women. It is the same for women, you know, that we have to tick to be that person that can stand there and go, you can count on me. And for people to believe it, because you've got social proof, you've got physical proof, you know that you are that person, and you only become that person through making tough decisions, through, you know, overcoming
experiences, good and bad, are important.
Yeah.
And obviously we've touched on the bad ones, people dying. We don't want to encourage that, it's not a vibe. But going through them will help, for sure, and how you come out the other side. But also good experiences, life experiences, and throwing yourself into situations you're scared of. People don't want to do things that are scary. I can guarantee when I was a certain age, I would not want to do some of the shit I do now. Not a chance. And I'm just lucky that, not lucky, I've worked hard to get to obviously where we've been and how we approach situations. But I've exposed myself to uncomfortable situations, doing big presentations in the past, etc. And even in like mid to late 20s, I thought, and it's just the next level. You always talk about in fitness, to always unlock the next level from a personal standpoint of what we're doing training wise. Then the same comes for life experiences of whether it's talking in front of big groups of people, whether it's presenting in front of big groups of people. We've done it in the past in the gym, and you can guarantee like this is the shit we know day in day out. But when there's 40 people staring at you, you still got to don it and absolutely own it. But you only get good at that the more you throw yourself into that situation. Lads, young lads especially, need to put themselves in situations they don't like early doors and get amongst it, even if they fucking fail.
You know what, it sounds so cliche, but you do have to lean towards adversity. You do have to lean towards those things. You can't run away. Like, there's so many times in my early 20s I've just wanted to run away from my problems so that I didn't have to deal with it. That's not the right way to go about it. You've got to face it head on. Face the problems head on. Like, aim for it. Don't try and sway it. Get to the problem, fix the problem, and move on. I think this is what most people in their early 20s really struggle with now is to actually find what the problem is and to run towards it and fix it, because it's just so much easier to distract yourself from that issue. It's so much easier
to dive on your phone and ignore an issue.
Correct.
And just hide away in your laptop, hide away in the back office. You know what I mean? It's so much easier to hide away from your actual issues rather than dealing with them head on, because people don't want uncomfortable conversations.
It's
They don't want difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Like we'll still have difficult conversations all the time within business. We'll always have that, and that's part of growing and part of trying to build something bigger. Like you need to have these conversations with each other. But we're in a position where we can do that and not take it as you're a prick. It's no, right, I'm doing it for the right reason. It's constructive. That is the whole point. And you get thicker skin the more you do that and understand that it's not always, like we've said before, facts versus feelings. It's not always a feelings thing. Sometimes facts just need to be said. Yeah, and it is what it is. Cool, it is what it is. So don't get married in, don't be scared of running away from having difficult conversations with people early on in life, because it'll massively benefit you later down the line.
I always say a problem unsolved is a problem that's multiplied. It's like whatever the issue is, you have to get it done now so that you don't have to keep having it in the future. Like you just get to the bare bones of it now, get to it, move on, and then you don't have to do it. That's going to be 10 times worse with 10 times more worse feelings and problems along the way. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Like a guy walks through the door in their early 20s. Okay, let's just say, well, it's like Freya and Rosie, right? For me, it's no different. Or let's say one of us have a lad. It's like, Dad, what should I do? I'm in my early 20s. What should I do now? It's like, become the best member of society that you can. Become an absolute monster. Have things in check. Become smart. Get your shit together. Like, make sure that you're a good contributor to society. Like, that's genuinely what it is.
You know what I think it is as well? How many lads and girls at 16 who don't have a job? Or don't go and try and get a job. As soon as I got to the stage where I could get a job, I went and got a job. I was doing like 12-hour shifts in the De Vere White's Hotel, pot washing. Because I earned more money doing a 12-hour shift than my mates who were doing a 3-hour. Yeah. But I used to do back-to-back of them on a weekend, which was probably against what you should be doing. But it was fucking dead. I was covered in food all day. The goal was to be able to earn my own dough, be financially secure for myself. Obviously, it's fuck all.
Of course. But
it's that internal process of trying to work more and trying to do my own thing all the time. It's because people and kids get spoon-fed so much early doors now, and they think it's just it's a given. Things are just given. Like, it's so much different. Like, the amount of people that, if you look back, who go to uni just because it's sorted for you. How many people would go to uni if they had to fund it themselves?
Yeah, that's true.
Because let's be honest, you don't pay it back right.
That's very true. You know,
like, have that more value to what it takes to earn money.
Yeah.
How much it takes to learn, how much time it really takes.
I think like advice to young men in their 20s, become very useful. Become very useful, because that's like, I keep coming back to it, we are only as good as we are useful. Become very useful, very reliable for everybody else around you. Become useful, become reliable, become, I want to say emotionally stable. That just means to me not acting straight away on emotions. It's so much easier for me to say that now, being a little bit older. If you would have said that to me when I was 22, not a chance, mate, am I going to listen to that. It took us time to figure this out, and obviously as we age you get a little bit wiser, whatever. But anybody coming into the early 20s, become a savage, get highly skilled, find a skill, get highly skilled, make some dough, get healthy, get strong, become, I don't want to say emotionally stable, you know what I'm trying to say here, right? Don't act on emotions immediately, think, take your time, think before you speak. Like, just become very strong, very reliable, both physically, both mentally, and have some substance, have a good backbone, and that will just set you up for life. Like, that will just
get yourself around people. You think, say you're looking at certain people or demographics, right? I want what they've got. Get yourself in and amongst them. We've done it in the past with training. People come and train with us all the time. It's like, I want what you've got. Like, they come and train. That is fine. Force yourself into these situations and ask to train with people, ask to get around them and see how they tick. You can learn so much from spending time with people who are further on the continuum than you. We've done it in the past with clients.
Yeah.
We've been around clients and you see, fuck me, there's another level again. And then you really start to unlock what's really going on. You know what I mean?
And if you don't want to listen to it, then you just ask yourself the equal and opposite questions like I did before. Okay, mess up your finances, see how that goes for you. Get unhealthy, create some bad habits, act emotionally, do random stuff, treat people badly, and just see how that goes. Because if you don't, like, because this is the only way to do it, like, if you don't believe that this is the only way, we'll try the opposite and see what happens, because that is the only way as a man to become useful. We can talk about feelings, we can talk about having big group hugs and shit like that, but you've got to become useful first. We've got to have some substance, because guess what? What happens when shit hits the fan? Who do we go to? We've said this before, who do they call? Not the Ghostbusters, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
What did Chadwick say?
Who they
A big fucking strong alpha.
They're gonna go to the people that are reliable. Do you want to be the person that can be counted on or not? When like I said, when people are hitting that emergency exit button, who are they gonna ring? Are they gonna ring you, or are you gonna press the exit button as well? Like, let's go. You've two choices: become reliable, stable, focused, goal driven, solution based. You know, without feelings too much. Become solution based. Get things in order. Open, honest, man to man, boom, boom, boom. Okay, good. Or press the exit button and get off like everybody else. But guess what that does? That just breeds more and more of that bad behaviour. At some point, you're just going to crumble and feel awful. Yeah. You're going to feel awful about yourself, and you're going to be constantly ringing me to sort your shit out. You know what I mean?
Right. Andy, we've got a good little topic to finish on.
Come on.
Mr. I don't watch TV.
I don't watch TV.
So, hunted. We're dropped off in a spot. We've got to stay away. Is it a week or a month, Arky? Is it a month? We've got a full month to stay off the grid and not get caught, but they've got all the powers they can of surveillance to catch us and get us. Yeah. Which means we can't use catch points because it's tracked. We can't use certain things because it's all tracked. We've got to stay off the grid as a pair. Where the fuck are we going? One, we're definitely staying away, trust me.
Well,
where are we going?
The good thing is, Dan, we've not pressed the emergency exit button.
We've not.
And we're doing an alright job of the other stuff, so I feel like we'd be in for a good chance. And this is the point I'm making.
And you know when you took the piss out of my car, it's off the grid. There's no technology in that bad boy.
That's very true.
You can hear it coming though.
But this is what I'm saying. Let's just go back a little bit. Imagine you're on the programme Hunted, and you've got no clue what to do because you don't know what to do with your finances. You've got no clue because you're unfit and unhealthy. You've got no clue because you keep acting irrationally and emotionally.
You're getting caught, bro.
You're getting caught. You're getting caught. Not to say that you're not going to get caught if you the other way, but you've got a better chance. You understand what's going on.
If you're physically fit, I will run away from you.
If you're physically fit, you're onto it. If you can concentrate and overcome problems, if you can problem solve and become unemotional and go, problem, let's go, solve it, boom, move on, brilliant. This is it, character. If you can build your character, we'd probably get caught though.
We won't get caught. Where are we going?
I don't know, you know.
I think sleeping rough up Rivy's the one, mate.
Like that guy did the other day.
Do it in summer though, it'll be alright.
Right, so Hunted is the program where you get. I know
We've
the
got to go on
program.
the
I've
run.
not seen the program, but I know which one you mean.
We're on the run now for a month.
We're on the run for a month.
We've got to make sure we stay away for a month.
Lad, you'll find me in Nando's. I'm getting caught on day one. I'll just come straight to Nando's.
Man's got a platter.
No.
Listen, that Landy's getting left somewhere. Yeah, incognito.
Have you not got to get to places, or is it just literally you just can't
You've
get
got to stay
found?
away. We get dropped off in a random location. We've got to stay away from them catching us over a month. We've got to understand.
A month?
We've got to understand. I'm sure it is a month, innit?
Can't be a month.
I think it is, bro. Which is heavy, but it's doable. I think once you're off the grid, you're off the grid.
So you can't go to relatives because they're going to come there.
Listen,
You can't go to friends, they're going to find you.
Nokia 3310s are coming out. We're playing
The
Snake.
burner's out.
We're playing Snake.
The burner's out.
Yeah, we're getting someone to drop a little low key car, done and dusted. Little white van.
Who would we get involved in this? This would be funny.
Dom would be on it.
Right, so we're going to recruit someone to get us a little
Someone smart
low-key car.
to keep it low key.
Who's going to drop us food off and that? Because you can't get relatives.
What Rivy, bro? Mushrooms. So we do
Can't
get,
eat grass and mushrooms.
We do
for a
get
month.
caught. We'll be having a good time anyway. It won't matter.
This is good actually. Right, I'm coming back to it now.
You're in it.
I'm coming back to it now. Who am I going to ring to help me out? This is it. This is it, Sam.
That's well me, you know.
Listen. Right, let's go back to it. Early 20s. You need to ring 3 people.
You can comment that. Who are the 3 people you're ringing?
Right, you're on Hunted, you've got to live for a month and nobody finds you. Who are you going to ring? Because they're the people that have not pressed the exit. They've probably got the shit together. They can do things. They've got it right. They're switched on. They've got it figured out. We can figure this out.
This is a great question without us realising, isn't it?
Yeah. We can figure this out. Who are you going to ring to get you? I mean, I'm not talking criminals and that. Do you know what I'm saying? But
who's going to hide you? Who's going to help you?
Who's going to help you figure this situation out? Someone who's probably got their shit together. Or they're just good at getting off.
I'll just get my mobile, like, mate. Just ring them. This is the thing. They can track anything. You've got to stay off. Great.
Paper cup and...
So nice little RV outside, mate. It's getting caught, bro.
Listen, that would be tough, that.
Landy's not getting caught.
That would be tough, that.
Getting hurt.
For a month, it'd be tough. That's an interesting one, that. Who would we ring to get involved? How are we going to get sorted out? Who's done it anyway?
Little static caravan.
Who's actually won it and how did they do it? Has there been a...
There's been winners. I think
static
caravans were a vibe. I think they were off the grid a little bit.
They used a static caravan, yeah.
I'm sure one of them did. For a certain amount of time, then moved. Moving locations is key, I think.
Correct.
It's a long time not to speak to people, which is the biggest problem of people. They're so connected on the phone and wanting to do things for gratification and on socials, etc. You get caught. So that's where you've got to go low key, no phone, light work.
Knock on a back door.
Is there still phone boxes? Are phone boxes a thing anymore? Are they gone now? Remember a phone box?
Their tracks anyway. Their track. Of course I remember the phone box. Oh, what was it? What was the number? The sex line number. You don't remember that? You used to ring it up and have a blag. Or was it just me in the phone box? 0800 28 29 30. For those that remember that, BT phone boxes used to be the sex line. 0800 28 29 30. You used to make up this random blag and then just start laughing and get off. Do you remember that? No. Just me them.
What were you up to in all?
If you remember that, let me know.
Yeah, swerve that.
Swerve that. Brilliant. So I actually don't know the answer to this, Dan.
Well, that was helpful.
I feel like I'd do a good couple of weeks, but yeah, a month is a long time.
Is that still a programme? I think we'd go on it, mate.
A month's time.
I think we'd smoke it.
Hunted.
100%.
I would definitely create some allies. I would definitely have no communication. I'd knock on a few doors secretly, I'd say, and I'd be able to say, meet me here at this time, meet me there at that time, bring me this, bring me that. I reckon I could figure that out quite quickly.
Preload it. I think you know before you know you're going on it, I think you say to people, this is the plan. Then they can't get caught on knowing the plan. Because they come to your house and they raid your house a lot. You can't even you lose paper trails, nothing. You know what I mean? You can't leave a crumb.
That's good, that.
So if you sort something out, it's in person.
Could we not have this as like a Saturday class at the hybrid?
Yeah.
Could we not
basically, you're all
the
going
next event?
We'll come and finding you.
We'll do a hybrid event, Hunted hybrid, and the winner gets a grand or something.
So basically, playing Manhunt, really.
Play Manhunt or Tig. We'll play
Don't
Tig
get caught.
But right, yeah. What we on here now, Baldy? What's on next? What's on the next agenda?
We're done, pal.
Listen.
That was the shirts are off, pal.
The shirts are off. This was a good one. I really want to focus on the early 20s because I feel like it's really important. that
Have a think of the 3 people you'd call.
I think it's really important for
And what have they got going on? What are they doing day to day?
for young men to really become very useful and become like highly skilled, highly intelligent, really. I think it's important to do that, and have each of the categories that we spoke about at least started in the early 20s. It can be chaos, and I don't say don't cause chaos because I think that's part of building character, right? Still cause your chaos, do what you want to do, but still be thinking about these things and have things in place and know where it needs to go. Definitely.
Lovely. Signing off, Arky.
We're signing off.
Signing off, Paul. Shirts are off. Like and subscribe. In a bit.